There's something I hear from so many folks over 70 that really sticks with me. They say, I used to love driving, but now it just makes me nervous. Maybe you felt that way too. Maybe you've caught yourself wondering if you should just hang up the keys for good. But here's the thing, driving after 70 doesn't have to be scary. In fact, with the right mindset and a few simple adjustments, it can still be something you enjoy, something that keeps you independent and connected to the life you love. That's why today, we're talking about 5 confidence-boosting tips to help you feel safe, capable, and in control behind the wheel. These aren't complicated rules or strict do's and don'ts, just practical, down-to-earth advice that's made a real difference for so many drivers just like you. So, let's get started. First up, know your strengths and work with them. One of the biggest mistakes we make as we get older is assuming that because some things have changed, everything has. But that's just not true. You've got decades of experience behind the wheel, you've seen it all, from bad weather to busy traffic, and that wisdom counts for a lot. The key is to recognize where you're still sharp and where you might need to adjust. For example, maybe you've noticed your reaction time isn't quite what it used to be. That's okay. You can compensate by leaving a little more space between you and the car ahead or avoiding heavy traffic times when the roads are extra hectic. Or perhaps night driving isn't as comfortable as it once was, so why not plan your outings during daylight hours? Small tweaks like these let you keep driving without pushing yourself beyond what feels safe. Now, let's talk about staying sharp with regular check-ins. Just like you take your car in for an oil change, it's important to check in on your own driving skills from time to time. This doesn't have to be a big, stressful test. It can be as simple as asking yourself a few honest questions. How do I feel after driving? Am I getting easily distracted or frustrated? Do I find myself missing turns or signs more often than I used to? If you're not sure, consider asking a trusted friend or family member to ride along and give you gentle feedback. Sometimes, an outside perspective can help us see things we might not notice ourselves. And if you do spot areas where you'd like to improve, there are refresher courses designed just for older drivers. Many of them even come with insurance discounts. The goal isn't to criticize yourself, it's to stay confident by knowing exactly where you stand. And finally, for this first part, let's touch on choosing the right car for you. You'd be amazed how much of a difference the right vehicle can make. If you're driving an older model with stiff steering or poor visibility, no wonder you're feeling less confident. Modern cars come with features like backup cameras, blind spot warnings, and even automatic braking, all of which can give you an extra layer of security. But even if a new car isn't in the cards, small adjustments can help. Make sure your seat is adjusted so you can see clearly over the wheel, and that your mirrors are positioned to minimize blind spots. If you struggle with stiff joints, look into accessories like steering wheel covers for a better grip or pedal extenders if needed. Your car should work for you, not against you. Now, we've covered knowing your strengths, doing regular check-ins, and picking the right car, but there's more to explore. Next, we'll talk about 2 more essential tips that can make all the difference in keeping your driving experience positive and stress-free. Because here's the truth, you don't have to give up the freedom of the open road just because you've hit a certain age. With the right approach, you can keep enjoying the ride for years to come. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got about driving as we age came from a retired driving instructor in his late 70s. He told me, it's not about driving less, it's about driving smarter. And that really stuck with me. Because when we start feeling unsure behind the wheel, our first instinct might be to avoid driving altogether. But the truth is, staying active and engaged as a driver is one of the best ways to keep your confidence up. So, let's dive into our next tip, staying physically comfortable behind the wheel. If you've ever gotten out of the car after a short drive and felt stiff or achy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Discomfort can make driving feel like a chore, and when we're tense or in pain, we're not as focused as we should be. A few simple adjustments can make a world of difference. First, check your seating position. Your back should be fully supported, and your hips should be as close to the back of the seat as possible. Your knees should be slightly bent when pressing the pedals, not stretched out, but not too cramped either. If you've got arthritis or joint pain, consider adding a cushion for extra support. And don't forget about your hands. Adjust the steering wheel so your arms are relaxed, not straining to reach. Another thing that helps? Taking breaks on longer drives. Even if you used to power through a 3-hour trip without stopping, it's okay, smart, even, to pull over every hour or so. Stretch your legs, walk around for a minute, and give your eyes a rest from the road. You'll feel fresher, more alert, and much more in control when you get back behind the wheel. Now, let's talk about something just as important as physical comfort: managing stress and distractions. Let's face it, roads are busier than ever these days, and between GPS devices, loud music, and phones, even if you're not the one using it, there's a lot competing for your attention. The key is to create a calm, focused environment in your car. Start by keeping the noise level down. If you love listening to music or talk radio, that's great. Just keep the volume low enough that you can still hear sirens, horns, or other important sounds. And if you're using a GPS, set your route before you start driving so you're not fiddling with it on the go. Another great trick? Plan your routes ahead of time. If you're heading somewhere new, take a few minutes to look at the map and familiarize yourself with the turns and exits. Stick to roads you know well when you can, especially if you're feeling a little rusty. There's no shame in avoiding a hectic highway if a quieter side street gets you there just as easily and with a lot less stress. And here's something else to consider: driving at the right time of day. If you know rush hour leaves you frazzled, try scheduling errands for mid-morning or early afternoon when traffic is lighter. Sun glare bothering you more than it used to? A good pair of anti-glare sunglasses can help, where you might choose to drive earlier in the day before the sun gets too low. The beauty of these tips is that they're not about limiting yourself, they're about empowering yourself. Because when you take control of the little things, your comfort, your focus, your route, you take back the confidence that makes driving enjoyable. Now, we've got one more essential tip to cover, one that can truly make or break your driving experience as the years go by. Because staying safe on the road isn't just about what you do behind the wheel, it's also about what happens outside of the car. We'll talk about that next. But for now, remember this: driving smart isn't about giving things up. It's about making the ride work for you. There's something I want you to picture for a moment. Imagine getting into your car, turning the key, and feeling nothing but calm assurance as you pull onto the road. No white-knuckled grip on the wheel. No second-guessing every turn. Just the simple pleasure of going where you want, when you want, with complete confidence. That's not just a fantasy. For countless drivers over 70, it's an everyday reality. And the final piece of making that your reality too comes down to this: keeping your mind and body road ready. You see, driving isn't just about what happens when you're in the driver's seat. It starts long before that. Staying sharp behind the wheel means taking care of the driver, that's you, just as much as the car. Let's start with vision and hearing, because these are your most important tools on the road. When was the last time you had your eyes checked? If it's been more than a year, consider making an appointment. Even if you think your vision is fine, subtle changes can creep up without you noticing. Things like slower adjustment to glare or slightly blurred peripheral vision can affect your driving more than you might realize. And don't forget about hearing. Being able to detect sirens, horns, or even the sound of a car in your blind spot is crucial. If you've been putting off that hearing test, maybe this is your nudge to schedule one. Now, let's talk about flexibility and reaction time. Simple exercises like neck rotations to check blind spots more easily, or ankle circles to keep pedal movements smooth, can make a real difference. You might even consider doing some light stretching before getting in the car, especially if you're going on a longer drive. And here's a pro tip: playing brain games that improve processing speed, like crossword puzzles or even certain video games designed for seniors, can help maintain those quick reaction times we all rely on when driving. But perhaps the most important thing of all? Knowing when to say not today. There's incredible strength in recognizing that some conditions just aren't ideal for driving. A rainy night when you're feeling tired? A new medication that might cause drowsiness? These are times when the wisest, most confident decision might be to postpone the trip or ask for a ride. And that's not giving up your independence. That's exercising smart judgment, the same kind that's kept you safe on the road all these years. Let's take a moment to tie everything together. We've talked about understanding your current abilities and playing to your strengths. We've covered how regular check-ins and the right vehicle can boost your confidence. We discussed staying physically comfortable and minimizing distractions. And now, we've explored how maintaining your health directly translates to better, safer driving. Here's what I hope you take away from all this: driving after 70 isn't about clinging to the past or pretending nothing has changed. It's about adapting wisely so you can keep enjoying the freedom and independence that driving represents. Every single one of these tips comes down to one simple idea: giving yourself permission to drive differently, not less. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these strategies already? Maybe you've discovered another great tip that's helped you stay confident behind the wheel? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience could be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. If this video helped you, why not hit that like button? And if you're not subscribed yet, well, we'd love to have you join us. We make these videos because we believe your later years should be filled with joy, independence, and possibility, and that includes the open road. So here's to many more safe, happy miles ahead. Remember, age isn't a stop sign, it's just another part of the journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Now, go enjoy that drive.